So here we're back with Divinity Original Sin. Unfortunately, my OBS is behaving weirdly and I cannot actually get it to capture the whole setting. Maybe I can, just give me 1 second. We'll just have to live with this.
Why, you're looking a bit... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
Okay.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he
You pull at the thing around your neck futilely, demand to know why she called
Why,
you.
for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Recall great powers building inside you, the ones that you commanded before your capture. Unleash
Currents
them.
of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. Makes you unable to cast source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world.
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one hand on your forehead and taking your pulse with the other.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy.
Say you had a long black dream about a ship sailing the river of the dead. But you're not dead, are you?
No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to source. For good.
Well, basically, darling, downstairs the prisoner has had a little accident. He's dead.
Is he? Oh, well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
Okay.
My. These smelling salts are strong stuff.
Oh yeah, smelling salts, yeah, right. She's a drug addict, and no mistake. Ah. Okay, this is how you combine things. This was invalid, but still.
Everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really.
But who?
So let's have ourselves added to the manifest.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
Oh, has there?
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Oh.
Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Peer into the
There's been a murder. The sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Did you
It's
know
a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he hadn't before he came here.
No marks, no
We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Well, you were not as protector. You were his
Finn didn't
captor.
see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him.
Was he?
Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir.
So?
You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
That's a trick I haven't quite mastered.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
My price
Not in
is
here, it isn't.
Considerably higher than that.
You let me know if you hear it. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Yeah. And I'll set them onto your lead.
This is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
A woman from Driftwood with nary a care offered me kisses that answered my prayer. I accepted her gift, and then to my dismay, a spider she was, and I her buffet. Once feasting was over, she licked her red lips. I rose from the floor, still coming to grips. She thanked me for coming and bade her farewell. My prayer indeed answered, though still I did swell. Okay. That's some poetry. And not a good one either. And not a good poem, I mean.
Be good, you scallywags.
Scallywags. A sheep.
It was one of them. I know it.
Do you know?
Knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
And we just get to the part where I
Okay.
reassure you and you shut
So
up.
let's see if we can do this. We have picked up a bedroll.
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
Let's use it. And we're rested. That's brilliant. Okay, so we've achieved this as well. Yeah.
Slop as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Okay.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Can I
She
join
shakes
you?
her head.
Oh, well then.
Game
so
for
you.
one, I'm afraid.
Well then.
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
You, Jill, is that right?
Can you read the
She
future and
eyes
how
you
it
quite
entails as well?
seriously.
You are Jill, aren't you?
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Why not?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. A very special someone. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
Yeah, you're exactly
Of course
right.
it is. The truth's right there, skin deep. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Whose fate are your dice
Don't worry,
deciding?
honey. It isn't yours.
Okay.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Okay.
It was one of them. I know it.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hand you right over the side of the...
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay is this trampy fan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
That's correct.
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Why does he suspect you of murder?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Oh.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
I shall hold my head steady.
How did you end up in this
Long
place?
story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested parties.
Did you
No.
do it?
The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
I don't really want to.
Not
meet him.
eager to bow before the great Bishop Alexander, son of the divine himself.
Nope.
My sentiments exactly. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
I don't care.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Unacceptable.
Wow.
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do
Name.
away with the custom.
Length
Magister
of.
Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
When you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Away with you. At once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, Ghetto. You hear that?
I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind
What am I
always
supposed to be
The
hearing?
ship, of course.
wolves around a campfire.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
Wow.
And sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
I close my eyes and try to let the ambient sounds on the ship fade away.
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back, the other catches you before you lose your footing.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, Ghetto. Good news.
Like wolves around a campfire.
Yeah, I heard it, but what is it?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
Okay.
Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Why are you so excited about reaching Fort Joy? I haven't heard anything good about it.
Yeah, no indeed, Ghetto. But that ain't my final destination.
Uh-huh.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all, thank ye kindly, Ghetto.
Why won't you sing?
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse.
I always knew you'd turn out rotten.
All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Like wolves around a campfire.
I slap away his
My,
hand. Hard.
we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang
Now
you
then,
right
to
on the side of
business.
the ship with
You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I'm not answering any of your
Goodness gracious
damn
me,
questions.
what a bore. Off with you. Quite clearly, you wouldn't have done at all. Shoo.
Of course not.
I'll
Sod
give you
you.
that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too.
Insufferable, surely.
Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Quiet long enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Who am I speaking to?
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough.
Is it?
It is pleasurable to meet you.
Did you find much knowledge in the
I've
book?
been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than...
I'm going to explain that Rivulan's history is a battle between source and the void, good and evil, light and darkness.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Why are you so curious about
The elf's
gods?
face freezes for just a second before he waves his hand dismissively.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. We mortals do like to consider these things, do we not? Now, please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No, why are you
No
so
amount
curious
of
about the
pestering
gods?
will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Quiet long enough for me to listen.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams has just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get a lot better from here on out. He's God-walking,
really?
you know. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Perfect.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship.
Trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
Was it?
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
What do you mean by there are others whose lives must end?
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
What?
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's a void worker?
What's happened?
My first bow. Okay. Okay, there's fire in the cargo hold, and then there is water coming in through here. I'm not feeling too safe. Requisition source order. Pumpkin seed flour, 1 crate. Sunflower, 1 crate. Turnips, 3 crates. Cabbages, 1 crate. Human ale, half a crate. She killed the sheep. Oh. She killed everything that was alive and wasn't wearing.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Well then, darling, what a pity. The Source King insists there are no magics too foul, even those that would block or even remove the source within an individual. I delight in his madness. It is an invitation to manipulate all which we once believed immutable. He provides all manner of experimental subjects. The text beneath lists a series of hexes and materials required for muting source. Some of those objects are circled in black ink and annotated as follows: helm, collar, mask. We're gonna take this book because we don't know. Like murdering or stealing, leave a crime scene, even if nobody saw you. That was too quick. Okay, so essentially, we've now created a crime scene.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Okay. All right.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Her hand lies limp in yours. She's too weak to stand.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
The elf lies motionless, her eyes staring into a nothingness, like death.
I will get her out of there. There were stairs back here, weren't there? Yeah, let's see if I can go up here. Come with me if you want to live. I always wanted to say that.
Damn! That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Uh-huh.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters!
I know. New character, everything. My firstborn. No, we don't need that one. Open. Money.
anything on the hull?
Tomato soup, that's always good. I love tomato soup. Okay, anything here? I really have to say that I'm really enjoying this.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to him.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
There's something familiar about the way he holds that book.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick, frustrated movement.
I am trying to discover if there is anyone worth saving, and I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflies get in my way. Go on, go, swim or drown or do whatever takes your fancy. I have a book to read.
Okay.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the symbol, but it's clearly warning you away. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb. It doesn't budge.
Okay, that's interesting and weird at the same time. Okay, we're leaving. That's it.
More. I need to get off this ship.
Oh dear. So where am I? Oh, there I am. And I'm attacking. Do I even want to look? Okay. The fantasy thing.
What fool? You do it.
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here. Hear that, kid? We need to go.
But what about the ladder? It's right over there. You can go straight down.
It's time to go now. Every man has his gun.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
I wonder if you could make a different decision and decide.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead.
Oh, that was a Voidwoken.
Yours faithfully into eternity. High Judge Oriven.
I love this. I mean, this is just such a beautiful game. Okay.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? It seems someone, something, wanted me alive.
Probably one of the gods. So... Okay. Okay, we'll see. What have we got? Okay. Waypoints. You've discovered a waypoint. Fleeing combat allows you to escape to any discovered waypoint. You can also quick travel between them. Okay, that's cool. So I guess if I click on map, Fort Joy Beach, this is a waypoint. Where's the waypoint now? I'm standing right in front of it.
I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
Oh, there's somebody standing there. Cool.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
Well, you can trust me.
Why?
I won't hurt you.
Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
Yes, I am. And by the looks of it, so are you.
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy.
Well, they may well be wrong and crazy.
Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than inside.
Well, there was a void woken that attacked the ship not far
But you
off.
didn't die.
By the
There
skin of
isn't
my
anywhere
teeth.
safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Why don't you...
Guess
why-
I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
It's a great place. Let's see. Can we barter for anything? Let's see if we can do something about our first bow. Combine this. It doesn't work, but hey. I thought we could improve on the bow. Okay. Nowhere to go. sight range indicator. There are enemies ahead. Press left shift to see the enemy's sight range. When you enter the sight range, combat will start. Okay.
Voidwoken! Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
That is super.
Bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by Voidwoken. I wonder in which order. It's riding on a skeleton, isn't it? Okay, we can craft. I love this. Let's take a look at it. Read. A word of advice to the badly armed. Tie your knife or shiv, if that's all you have, to a stick or a branch. Now you've got a sword of sorts. Good point. Okay, kid, follow me.
He's like Sir Didymus in Labyrinth. Meow.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
Now where should I put this one?
I wonder if I can keep him. Now let's see here.
Ooh, that's a pretty one.
No, I can't. It's a pity, I would have. Okay, I just ate the fish. Well then. I mean, I'm totally happy to collect animals. I'm a Disney princess.
Now where should I put this one? Hey lady, it's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? Sure wish you'd gone back to save the others. Though, I did see one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago, so I guess some of them survived at least.
Well, that was a big stretch.
Now where should I put this one? Adults always want to talk. Can't I just play?
Whatever, kid. I honestly don't have the patience for kids in real life and also not in games.
We already know the truth, Magister.
Look, Cat,
Now
this is
speak.
you, only
I am a
older.
proud loyal to the Order. I would not dream of subverting our cause.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
Okay, so that is this Alexander guy.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
What?
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come.
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Call out that only the gods are fit to take back what they have given. Only the gods are fit to take back what they have given.
Stay silent, you!
Okay, I'm pissed off now.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere. He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Bara. She ain't come back.
Oh yeah, we've been here before. What a fucked up place.
I've spotted something.
I wonder where this leads.
Find out.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected.
Buoyant. Well, I'm surprised to find you here as well.
It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for.
Uh-huh.
I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Anything
Oh,
valuable
yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard. grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
This is a
Oh,
prison.
don't be
Why do you
ridiculous.
care?
I have important things to do on Reaper's Coast.
You do?
I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in peace. No, I may be an eternal, but my patience has its limits. Indeed, I may be the only eternal. My people seem rather absent.
Oh.
At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
Where do you think the people are?
Well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are everywhere.
Okay, that's...
Every one of your races resembles them in some manner. And the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm. Or perhaps your gods are merely a folk memory.
Okay.
Regardless, they are not here. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them.
So, if everybody's vanished, why are
Well,
you still
that
here?
hardly seems relevant.
It does.
But if you must know, I was inconvenienced for a time. Several centuries, in fact. Or perhaps millennia. One tends to lose track. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate.
Wish him well and leave.
Yes, yes. Do feel free to call.
Certainly not. I dislike
By
him
which
with
I
a
mean
vengeance.
shout loudly. I do not want...
Yeah. Beautiful. So I guess we can just walk around in this fort. Yes, there are people.
Did you see them, miss? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself? They were so close, almost within arm's reach.
I must have
They
missed
were
the
just
fun.
just there but a moment ago.
Okay, he's a fanboy.
Pipe down, Faro. It's time to accept reality.
Okay, so this is the fort. Okay.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast.
What are you on about?
I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else.
That's what you say.
Get taken sometimes. Some folks say they get cured. I don't know if I believe it, and I don't want to wait and find out.
Okay.
I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a partner. Just one. Are you interested?
How do I know that you're for real?
Believe whatever you want. This may be your only chance at leaving this place. Take it or don't.
No.
Your loss, my friend. Your very great loss.
Yeah. I've got a cat and a squirrel riding a skeleton. I'm safe.
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? They're all I got left after you buddies were through with me.
What? I don't harass people.
That's
big
so.
stretch on the kitty.
You look just like 'em. But then again, I never was the best at telling your kind apart.
Oh, so
no
true.
harm intended, of course.
Yes, of course. We all look alike. Okay. And who are you?
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Don't touch me. You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me.
Squeeze back.
I can't. I can barely even catch my breath. How is it possible? 1 minute you're in the garden in the sun, the next you're here, and they've put the thing around your neck.
Because they're bloody idiots.
Her hands move again to her throat. She seems to try to make space between her neck and the collar, but there's no space to be made.
50 bottles of tears, oh.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your 5th blue jester this round.
What of it?
Yeah, what of Just 'cause the pair of you are filthy cheating liars don't mean I can't beat ya.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsyville.
Right hand, fine winker. Fella's got more
Looky,
right
looky
hand.
here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards?
Yes,
Chuff
why
to
not?
you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
clear your hand.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then.
Is that how
I'm
this
sure the
works?
Reds told you. No one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets. With pleasure.
How come they can all cast?
Send us your children, your supplicants, divine.
And we're going to save. And we're going to call it a day. Thank you.